أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to our program. In the previous programs, we talked a little bit about the book called Greater Sins. It was a book about, these sins that are, seen as worse, that if you do these greater sins, that these sins will make all of your other good deeds void. So these are the sins that we have to try to stay away from. These are the sins that we shouldn't even get close to doing. And like I mentioned, we talked in the previous shows. We talked a little about it. We talked about how the first step to staying away is having taqwa. Taqwa is broken down into two parts. The first part is the wajib, which is things that you are required to do. If you don't do your wajib, of course, you will be punished for this. And the second stage was the mustahab, something that isn't required upon us. We don't have to do it, but by doing it, we'll become closer to Allah. It will, speed up that process of becoming closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So like I was mentioning, now, we've come to the next part of that. Um, Before we talked about how the importance of refraining from even the small bad deeds. Even doing something so small as taking a single, speck of foods, as something, a single morsel. Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam has said, refraining from eating a single morsel of food is more near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than 2,000 rakats of mustahab salat. So, we see that these sins, or what's called gunal kabira, it invites the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That if we don't make an effort, if we don't make that attempt to try and stay away from these, then everything we do will be in vain. All of the namaz, all of the fasting, reading all the du'as we do, they won't matter. So the main thing we're going to be talking about today is that next step. Now, there's a saying from Imam Muhammed Baqir alayhi salam. He says, jealousy devours belief like fire devours wood. So inshallah, we're going to be talking about this today. Today, alhamdulillah, we have our two guests on our program who will inshallah be helping us talk about this. And inshallah, after that, we will be reading the why Tawassul of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the tawfiq. So I'd like to welcome our guests, Brother Hadi, Syed, Brother Hadi, Reza from Missouri. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Hadi. How are you doing today?
Wa alaikum assalam. I'm doing good today. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing good. And we have our second guest, Brother Ali Reza from Florida. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Ali Reza.
Walaikum.
How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Well, that's great. I'm doing good, thank you. So we were talking a little bit about these greater sins, and like I mentioned, the first step was jealousy devours belief like fire devours wood. And one of the main examples that I thought of when I thought of this, and one of the biggest examples ever, is Cain and Abel, or the story of Habil and Kabil. The sons of Prophet Adam alayhi salam. And what happened was, as Abel was, he was getting, Prophet Adam, liked him more, and he was, definitely better. He was, more closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Cain became jealous of him. He became jealous of everything he was receiving. And as a thing of this, as a result, he ended up killing him. And we see that how jealousy consumed him, that he saw that, this guy, he's getting, they respect him more or whatever. And it ended up, what happened, where he is now. So, it has to be, we have to realize that, the results of jealousy. And it's not just about, what are people jealous of? Brother Hadi, can you tell us what are a few things that cause people to become jealous? What are a few things?
I think one would be wealth would make people jealous. Fame, wealth, people being successful, people being happy, even being religious could bring jealousy.
Yeah.
One of many things.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's not just about the it's not just about the outer. It's also about the internal. Like for example, like you were mentioning, about how religious someone is. If someone's allowed to read a certain amount of namazes, if they they have good manners. These are things that people are jealous of, that they feel anger towards someone. Brother Ali Reza, like we were talking about, if somebody is jealous of someone else and they feel this anger towards them, does it, like generally, does it really make a difference if I'm jealous of someone? Does it make a difference that will it affect that person if I'm, jealous of them?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum ya Imam Zaman. Assalamu alaikum, dear Syed Muhammed, and happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
And when someone is jealous of someone else, then the the individual might be caused jealous of. It might like take one of his like he may lose that ability or something, or the thing he had, the person who was being jealous of, he might lose his wealth or something, or maybe something might happen, like he might even like lose his tawfiq or something, or but is jealous of that person who is innocent. The person who is jealous will be given punishment by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and
Yeah.
also that person who was jealous, he won't get anything from him, from the person
Yeah,
he is
that's
jealous from.
true. Yeah, we see that generally what happens is, if I'm jealous of someone else, for whatever reason, money, whatever, position, respect, generally what we see is, it doesn't even make a difference. If I'm jealous of that person because they have, they're smarter than me or whatever, it's not really going to affect them in a big way. They're not going to lose, whatever they have, genuinely. What usually happens is the only person who's affected by this is you. The person who is jealous, like you were saying, they're the ones who are going to receive all the punishment, the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is a story from Imam Ja'far Sadiq alayhi salam. He was talking, it's a story about Prophet Isa alayhi salam. Imam Ja'far Sadiq alayhi salam said, "Stay away from jealousy and do not harbor envy with respect to one another." Respect to one another. Having said this, the Imam alayhi salam continued, "One of the practices which Prophet Isa alayhi salam adopted for himself was to travel from city to city. During one of these journeys, he took along with him a companion who was short-billed and who also happened to be one of his attendants. After a while, they reached the sea. Isa alayhi salam recited the name of Allah and stepped onto the water and began walking over it effortlessly. Repeating what Isa alayhi salam had performed, the companion recited what the Prophet had and began to follow him over the water. Now, what happened was, in the middle of the sea, he thought this man, the companion of Prophet Isa, the one who was with him, he got a thought in his mind. And what did he think? The man thought, Isa is a prophet. This just popped in his head. He thought, Isa is a prophet and walks over water. And I am walking over water too, so what superiority does he possess over me? These thoughts hardly crossed his mind, and when he suddenly fell into the water and began to plead to Isa for help, Isa took hold of his hand and pulled him out of the water. "What did you say that caused you to fall into the water?" he asked. The companion confessed to the thoughts that had passed through his mind. "You placed yourself in a position other than what Allah had ordained for you, thus becoming the object of his wrath," remarked Isa. "Seek forgiveness so that you regain your previous rank once again." As soon as the companion sought forgiveness, he began to follow Isa over the water once again. Now, we see from this story, Brother Hadi, what are your initial reactions to hearing this story? Like I was mentioning about this man, that even a single thought came into his mind, and then he fell. A single thought that, Prophet Isa Islam, what makes him so special, came in his mind and he fell down. What are your thoughts about that?
I think that this just shows the power in and the power of Allah. that sins, committing a sin, Allah can change something in your life in a snap of a finger, in a second. He could he could make you fall. He could ruin your life. He could he could take something away from you that you hold close. And that I think another thing with jealousy is not being thankful for what you have.
Yeah,
And
that you were saying.
no, that was it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's true. That's right. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he can, you're right. He can give you something and he can take it away just as quickly. So, Brother Ali Reza, what do you think about the story?
Um, I think his story really shows like how like mighty is Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and how Allah Subhanahu wa Taala gave Prophet Isa uh, the miracle of walking on water.
Yeah, definitely. And, I mean, those are true. The other thing, you see the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see that how, he gave this man the ability to do that and he just took it away. And, we see that how even a single thought that, popped in his mind, he wasn't, we're not talking about this guy thinking long and hard, man, what makes Prophet Isa so special? And he was like doing this for like hours and hours. We're talking about a single thought that he's walking and then he just thinks, why does he have that? That single thing of jealousy. So, jealousy isn't necessarily, something severe. Like, you spend years like lurking, in the bushes. You spend years thinking that this guy has more than you. You spend your whole life. It's something small that even you're thinking, why can he do that? Why can't I do that? So we have to see to control ourselves from, even that single thought. Even that single thought that, oh, that person has more than me. And if we're able to, do that, able to have that restraint, that's the only way that we'll be able to, fully be able to, be successful on the day of judgment. There's another story about, jealousy. It's a story about there was a famous mujtahid, and growing up, he was, there was this other person who, when at the end of his life, the mujtahid, someone told him that, oh, he's dying and he wants to see you. So the mujtahid went to see the man, and the man was about to die, and he said, he was actually his companion. He was not his companion. He was his classmate from like 30 years earlier. And what happened was he was talking to him, and he said, growing up when we were studying, throughout our whole lives, I had more than you. I had, my family was richer than yours. I was smarter than you. I had, this and that. But, now I see that you're a famous mujtahid and I didn't have anything. I was smarter than you. I was, better than you, but I wasn't able to get, what you got. And, he took the Quran and he spit on it. And, he said, because he was so angry that what had happened and that, his whole life. And, that's the examples that we see. That it's not just about, in our lives, throughout the course of our lives. Of course, we all realize that there's always going to be people who are, better than us. There's people who are faster than you, stronger than you, smarter than you, everything. We see that throughout our entire lives. If you're good at something, there's always somebody who's going to be better than you. So we see this, and we have to realize this, that, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He gives us something, for example, we're all tested in different ways. Like, somebody could be tested, they could be tested with wealth, and some people can be tested with poverty. But at the end of the day, we're all going to be judged by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of our, results are going to be the same. We're all going to be, tested on the day of judgment. And we have to see what we have. So we see that, no matter what we do, everyone's, even, like, say, for example, you're doing a test. You're working on a test. And, everyone has the similar tests, right? But some people, they have some different, maybe they have the same questions, but they have a different format. But everyone has the same thing. So that's how I see, the world, that everyone has, we all have to, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing us, He's saying that here's the goal, here's the end result. Like, for example, if, you have to do a test, and you have, they ask a question, like, what was the effects of, whatever, the Mongolian Empire, whatever. Say they ask you something like that. There are people who have different answers. You can have, like, out of everyone, there can be like 5, 10 different answers. But they could all be right. There's not necessarily one right thing. So we see that, if we want to do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to do, there's all different ways of getting there. Some people are going to have money, they're going to, be smart. Some people aren't going to have those privileges. But, what we do is the same. We all pray the same. We all, we should all have the same goals. Well, yeah, so that was, I was talking, we were all talking a little bit about jealousy. We started off with the saying from Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam, jealousy devours belief like fire devours dry wood. So we see, this was a saying, and like I mentioned, we were talking about from the book Greater Sins. These are the sins that are, doing these sins, it will obliterate all of your good deeds. That if you're doing, one of these, all of your good deeds are gone. So that was that. Inshallah, in coming programs, we can talk a little bit. We can talk some more about greater sins. Well, now we're going to be reading the Why Tawassul, inshallah. So, Brother Hadi, Brother Ali Reza. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to read 4 pages, and then inshallah Brother Hadi can read 4 pages, and then inshallah Brother Ali can read the last 4 pages. Does that sound good to you guys?
Yes.
Okay. So for this program, we're going to be reading in the English. We're going to be reading the English translation for right now. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. O Allah, I beseech you and turn my face towards you in the name of your Prophet, the Prophet of mercy, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah send blessings to him and his household. O Abul Qasim, O Allah's Messenger, O Chief of Mercy, O our Master and Chief, we are turning our faces towards you, seeking your intercession and your advocacy for us before Allah. And we are presenting you as our intermediary for the settlement of our needs. O well-esteemed with Allah, intercede for us before Allah. O Abul Hasan, O commander of the believers. O Ali, son of Abu Talib. O Allah's argument against his creatures. O our Master and Chief, we are turning our faces towards you, seeking your intercession and your advocacy for us before Allah. And we are presenting you as our intermediary for the settlement of our needs. O well-esteemed with Allah, intercede for us before Allah. O Fatima, the luminous lady. O daughter of Muhammad, O delight of the messenger's eyes. O our chief, we are turning our faces towards you, seeking your intercession and your advocacy for us before Allah. And we are presenting you as our intermediary for the settlement of your needs. O well-esteemed with Allah, intercede for us before Allah. O Abu Muhammad, O Hassan of the son of Ali, O well-chosen one, O son of Allah's messenger, O Allah's argument against his creatures, O our master and chief, we are turning our faces towards you, seeking your intercession and your advocacy for us before Allah, and we are presenting you as our intermediary for the settlement of our needs. O well-esteemed with Allah, intercede for us before Allah. So that was 4. Are we? So Brother Hadi.
O Hussein, the son of Ali, O martyr, O son of Allah's messenger, O Allah's argument against his creatures, O our master and chief, we are turning our faces toward you, seeking your intercession and your advocacy before Allah. And we are presenting you as our intermediary for the settlement of our needs. O well-esteemed with Allah, intercede for us before Allah. O Ali, the son of Hussein, O ornament of the worshippers, O son of Allah's messenger, O Allah's argument against his creatures, O master and chief, we are turning our faces toward you, seeking your intercession and your advocacy for us before Allah. We are presenting you as our intermediary for the settlement of our needs. O well esteemed with Allah, intercede for us before Allah. O Muhammad, the son of Ali, O clever of knowledge, O son of Allah's messenger, O Allah's argument against his creatures, O our master and chief, we are turning our faces toward you, seeking your intercession and your advocacy before us before Allah. And we are presenting you as our intermediary for the settlement of our needs. O well esteemed with Allah, intercede with us before Allah. O Ja'far, the son of Muhammad, oh,
Brother,
Bismillah.
really?
Yeah.
Yes, Brother.
It's okay, you can continue.
Okay, Brother Hadi, can you?
O son of Allah, O Ja'far, the son of Muhammad, O son of Allah's messenger, O Allah's argument against his creatures, O our master and chief, we are turning our faces toward you, seeking your intercession and advocacy for us before Allah. And we are presenting you as our for the settlement of our needs. O well esteemed with Allah, intercede with us before Allah.
Okay, Brother Ali Reza, would you like to read the next part?
So I'm starting from Abul Hassan.
Yes.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. O Musa, the son of Ja'far, O suppressor of rage, O son of Allah's messenger, O Allah's argument against his creatures, O our master and chief, we are turning our faces toward you, seeking your intercession and your advocacy for us before Allah. And we are presenting you for the settlement of our needs. O well esteemed with Allah, intercede for us before Allah. O Ali, the son of Musa, O amicable, O son of Allah's messenger, O Allah's argument against his creatures, O our master and chief, we are turning our faces toward your intercession and your advocacy for us before Allah. And we are presenting you for the settlement of our needs. O well esteemed with Allah, intercede for us before Allah. O Abu Ja'far, O Muhammad, the son of Ali, O pious and magnanimous, O son of Allah's messenger, O Allah's argument against his creatures, O our master and chief, we are turning our faces toward you, seeking your intercession and your advocacy for us before Allah. And we are presenting you for the settlement of our needs. O well esteemed with Allah, intercede for us before Allah. O Ali, the son of Muhammad, O guide and pure, O son of Allah's messenger, O Allah's argument against his creatures, O our master and chief, we are turning our faces toward you, seeking your intercession and your advocacy for us before Allah. And we are presenting you for the esteem with Allah, intercede for us before Allah. O Hassan, the son of Ali, O immaculate resident of Askar, O son of Allah's messenger, O Allah's argument against his creatures, O our master and chief, we are turning our faces toward you, seeking your intercession and your advocacy for us before Allah. And we are presenting you for the settlement of our needs. O well intercede for us before Allah. O successor of Al-Hasan, O descendant,
12.
Allahumma salli ala
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
You can continue the last part.
Oh yeah. O successor of Al-Hasan, O descendant and argument of Allah. wiser, awaited, and well guided. O Son of Allah's Messenger, O Allah's argument against His creatures, O our Master and Chief, we are turning our faces toward you, seeking your intercession and your advocacy for us before Allah. And we are presenting you for the settlement of our needs. O well esteemed Allah, intercede for us before Allah. O my chiefs
Salawat.
and masters,
Oh, sorry.
Allahumma salli
Allahumma salli ala
Allahumma salli
Muhammad
ala
wa ali
Muhammad wa
Muhammad.
ala Muhammad.
O my chiefs and masters, I am turning my face toward Allah in the name of all of you. For you are my leaders and my supporters on the day of my destitution and neediness before Allah. I am seeking your advocacy for me before Allah and seeking your intercession for me before Allah. So intercede for me before Allah and save me from my sins before Allah. For you are my means to Allah. Through my love for you and my seeking nearness to you do I hope for salvation from Allah. So be my hope before Allah. O my masters, O Allah's intimate servants, may Allah bless you all, and may Allah curse the enemies of Allah, those who wronged you, from the past and the last generation. Respond to us, O Lord of the worlds. Allahumma
Salawat.
salli ala
Allahumma
Salli
salli
ala
ala
Muhammad wa ali
Muhammad
Muhammad.
wa ala Muhammad. So we just recited the Wa'id Tawassul, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answer all our prayers, and inshallah we're all able to, stay on the right path. And, even like what we talked about before, inshallah, we also ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us stay away from these greater sins, and inshallah we end up being the successful ones. Well, that's all the time we left for today. Thank you for everyone who joined us on today's program. Thank you to Brother Hadi. Thank you to Brother Ali Reza. You guys did a great job. Thank you for joining me today. And
My
well,
pleasure.
assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Khuda Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.